of the Santals was encouraged by the British. They were on a migration spree. They came from Birbhum, Manbhum and Hazaribagh. With the free license given by the British, the Santals were happy to clear forests and pitch their settlements. With this turn of events, the Malay felt insecure before the combined might of the British and the fast expanding Santals. With no option left, they grudgingly backfooted into the more hilly terrain. The British christened them hillmen or Paharias, a misnomer that got stuck. A demarcation named Daminiko, the skirt of the hill, was drawn along the outskirts of the range by the British to prevent any uncouth incursion by others into the Paharia area. However, the protected area within the Daminiko became a free grazing ground for the Santals, the Dikkus, the moneylenders and traders alike, and the British strategically closed their eyes.
All along we kept our faith in the all-powerful Gosain. He is benevolent and kind. He is propitiated under various forms like Beru, Bilpo, Laihu and Dharme. Our fear of elemental forces and evil spirits makes us placate them with sacrifices. Chalnad is one such dreadful evil spirit which is believed to cause great harm to people. Our ritual celebrations are related to seasons and agricultural operations. Festivals related to agricultural seasons are best celebrated with much rejoicing and merriment.
All along, the Paharias have preferred arranged marriages, but arrangements of their own choice are not rare. Monogamy is the custom, but polygamy is not uncommon. Burial of the dead is a common practice. However, in some areas, cremation was practiced in times past. Their elders were never privileged to see the four walls of an educational institution. They remained intellectually underfed, even as the world around them made great strides in education and in awareness. No wonder today, at the dawn of this millennium, their political entity is zero. They have literally no bargaining power. Other tribes and castes who occupied their territory centuries later have developed with rocket speed and possess much bargaining power. How have they come to this stage of a fifth world situation, dumped as it were in the waste basket of history?
Are we to blame for this deplorable situation when we are kept outside the margin of life with no avenues for progress? The outside world is interested in the cash crops from the hilly terrain. The pittance of price is what we get for the fruits of our hard labor. The petty trader Mahajan combination comb the hills. They act as benefactors even as the governmental system is in tattered shape. Our dwelling places in the hill range are cut up and looted by outsiders. They leave us poor and miserable. Development is destruction for us. Collecting and selling fuel wood seems to be our eternal journey. Dilapidated school buildings, absentee and uncaring teachers, unfriendly administration and neglect of politicians have been contributing to our deplorably low level of literacy and miserable existence. The government-run residential schools for Malay children have not produced much appreciable results. Who cares? We live or die. Confined to living in remote hilly terrain, we have been victims of deadly diseases. Even preventable diseases have taken a heavy toll of our lives. No wonder, caught in this tunnel of darkness and abandonment, our elders have surrendered to gloom with their slogan, "Jeena yahan, marna yahan, iske bina jana kahan." But is that all? Should gloom and despair dictate terms to us just because we are poor and illiterate? Just because we are considered a non-entity? Just because avenues of progress and development have been denied to us, even as we are the earliest settlers of this land? It is time for us not to take things lying down. It is time for us to realize that we are part and parcel of this land, this free India. Is our freedom confined to living like animals and dying like flies?
इसलिए कहें क्यों ना हम कहें इंसान हैं हम.
We also have the right to develop our human and spiritual potentialities. We shall not be satisfied with being kept floating at poverty line with a pittance of free ration or free latrine in an attempt to civilize us, as it were, or a free solar lamp to enlighten us while coal from our land is sold out of Jharkhand and we remain in the company of fireflies. Our right to life is of prime importance to us, and to live with dignity with all the avenues for progress and development. If 99% of us are below poverty line, do not treat us as victims of poverty by keeping us alive by window dressing with substandard free ration. Think of the reasons we are poor. Tackle the root cause, such as injustice, lack of opportunities for us to develop our talents, corruption and bribe, lack of loan facilities, the middleman system in all developmental schemes in our area, etc. Give us a reasonable price for our hill producers. Do not loot us. Right to education is a fundamental right, but who cares if the so-called Paharias are educated? The teachers you sent to our villages are alien to our culture and unconcerned about our progress. How many of you have climbed the hills and seen for yourself our pot-bellied and malnourished children, or to find out whether any nurse or ayah is seen around? How do you expect us, shivering with malaria, to climb down the hill and trudge 10 to 15 kilometers to the nearest PHC for treatment? Tall claims are made by the government concerning Paharia development. Even our elected representatives have turned their back on us. Tall claims before election are made, but on getting elected, they make a U-turn and their gates are shut. And then we hear only Gotalas, Swiss bank accounts of ministers and chief ministers, Alcatara Gotala, Chara Gotala, Thikadari Gotala, Koila Khadan Gotala, this Gotala, that Gotala. Let not people take us for granted by thinking that we are a lost case. We may be a diminishing race, but our children are talented and shine like any of your children given the right opportunity. In studies, in sports and games, and many other ways we can successfully compete with others. But opportunities are denied to us. Some of you say we are living in inaccessible areas, an excuse for not coming near us. The challenge is yours. Provide roads and transport facilities, lighting and electrification, Do not try to civilize us with your free cookies. Respect our right to develop. Give us a due share of the profit of our land. And a few words to my Paharia brethren. Let us shed our fatalistic and gloomy attitude to life. The world is fast moving. Step out of your cocoon and learn to think fast and move fast. Get your children educated.
सिद्धू कान्हू मुर्मू यूनिवर्सिटी से किया है, एसपी कॉलेज से।
I stood first in BSc Mathematics in Sidhu Kano University and was declared the best graduate of the year. Now I am doing MSc in Mathematics in St. Stephen's College, Delhi. My good parents encouraged me in my studies. They made me realize that girls are not inferior to boys and have equal rights. They taught me to look up and reach greater heights. I feel sorry that in our society, girls are not given enough importance. Let parents educate their girl children too. In today's world, due to lack of literacy and education, women are exploited and ill-treated. Let women in society rise to great heights in awareness and in education.
We need to bargain for the producers we sell in the market. We need medical facilities and transportation facilities.
आदरणीय मेरे भाइयों एवं बहनों, आप सबों को जोहार।
Land is the lifeline for the Adivasis. Land decides the existence of the Adivasis. What is happening today? The powerful forces of industry connive with the executive and the politicians, and with their patronage forcefully and illegally encroach upon Adivasi land. The constitutional provisions in favor of the scheduled tribes have been dishonored. That is the reason why in the areas where Adivasis are living, crucial problems are on the rise, such as poverty, displacement, immigration, exploitation of women, unrest, and above all, Naxalbad. The exploiter and the administrator become one. For the Adivasis today, the big problem is that he does not get justice. My respected brothers and sisters, Johar to you all. I am Victor Maltu, an officer in the Reserve Bank of India. Like you, I have lived in a Paharia village and done my schooling too there. I made use of the instrument of education, and that is why today I am holding a very important post in one of India's biggest institutions. I like to tell you that we Paharias have been living in Jharkhand for thousands of years. Yet today we are more and more facing poverty, lack of food, clothing and housing. Our land is being snatched away from us. We are denied of our reservation. My advice is that we become aware of our rights, our constitutional rights. We need to become educated Paharias.
Superstition is one big thing that destroys us. Today's scientific knowledge helps people to understand the root causes of diseases and events, be they drought, crop failure, disease or sudden death. These things happen not because of someone's evil eye. Rushing to Ojha Guru to find solutions is making him put